Right, so now, right now, we're going to do this thing called the Pascal triangle. Okay, so it always start out with 1, right? So always start out with 1 and end off with 1. So this is row
0.
Yeah. So row 0 means n is equal to 0. Okay, and what is this n? Because the Pascal triangle is referring to the expansion of 1 plus b to the power of n. So this n is this power here. So next one is row 0, this is row 1. So n is equal to 1, this is n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, n is equal to 5, n is equal to 6, and n is equal to 7. Okay? So no matter what, this highlighted one, right, will never change, be it whatever the question is. But this n can change depending on the question. So can you see, they say use the Pascal triangle to find the first 5 terms. Okay. Right? In ascending power, in the expansion of this person. So what does this mean? So you can see that this person right here, it's 7, which is the n value. So later we'll be focusing on the values on the brown. But I'm going to teach you how to derive the values on the brown one. So I here have 1, right? Inside 1 and with 1. So same usual, I start with 1. And what is this 2? I'm going to add these 2 up. 2, followed by 1. Next again, same thing, start with 1.
3.
Add these 2, I get 3. And add these 2, I get
3.
And end off with 1. Next, also same thing, start with 1. Add these 2.
4.
Add these 2.
6.
Add these 2.
4.
End off with
1.
Then start with 1 again. Add these 2.
5.
It's 2.
10.
It's 2.
10. 5. And 1.
End off with 1. Okay, then follow again. Let's go. 1.
6.
15.
15. 20. 15. 6. And 1. 1. 7. 21. 35. 21. 35. 21. 7. 1.
Yeah. So the key thing is you must always take note that this whole thing will always be a very nice like slope, all ones. And here is also a very nice slope. Everything is 1. So the alignment must be proper. Because the more you miss out the alignment, everything will be wrong. So can you see there's a next alignment here? The next alignment here, alignment here, alignment here, alignment here, alignment here. So same thing, it goes for the other way. Alignment here, alignment here, alignment here, alignment here, alignment here, alignment here. So because we know that the power is 7, that means that we need to focus on the one that is the brown one, right? So the brown one actually tells us the coefficient. So when they say that the first 5 terms, that means that I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how do we apply it? That means that 1 plus b to the power of 7 is actually equal to 1 plus 7 plus 21 plus 35 plus 35. But because there are many terms, we'll stop at here because they only want the first 5 terms. Plus dot dot dot. Got it? So far so good? So because this coefficient is only for the these numbers here are only for the coefficient, right? So we still have a b. So all this red is only focusing on this person, the coefficient. So how do you get the b? Here, right? So we always start with b to the power of, because ascending powers of b is always b to the power of 0. And we know that b to the power of 0 is just 1. So we do not need to write here. Next, after b to the power of 0, it will be
b to the power of 1.
And b to the power of 1 is just b. Next, it will be b to the power of 2. So we just write down b to the power of 2. B to the power of 3. And
b to the power of 4.
And that's it. That's our answer. Got it? So far, so good? Okay, so now, what are the different other questions that they can say? So now they can say hence, right? They say hence, deduce. Hence, deduce means you need to use the one that I just written in red, my marking. Hence, deduce the first 5 terms in ascending powers of b or x in the expansion of, okay, it's really small. Okay, of number 1. Part 1, how does your teacher can say when they say 1 minus b to the power of 7, right? So you need to be very careful now, because right now, instead of b, it will be, because it's plus b, right? But I want a minus b. Therefore, my b will all be replaced by
minus b.
exactly. So it just be 1 plus 7 bracket minus b plus 21 bracket minus b squared plus 35 bracket minus b cubed. My last space plus 35 bracket minus b to the power 4, right? So let's do it. So this is 1. So can you see? Positive and negative will just give me minus 7b. Plus, now this one, always take note, when I take negative b squared, it will be positive because it's a negative 1 square b square. So always remember, whenever you take a negative number and square it with an even number, it will be a positive answer. So it will be plus 21b. Plus, can you see here's a negative and it's cubed. So if negative, you cube it, it will be a negative number. So it will not be plus 35b cubed, it will be minus 35b cubed. Okay. Then after that, the next one, same thing, also plus 35 b to the power of 4. And have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the rest, that's plus total. Okay? So don't forget to make notes for all of this. Okay, so next one, what your teacher can also test you is that instead of 1 minus b to the power of 7, it's right now 1 plus 2x to the power of 7, right? So what do we have to do now? Applying the same logic.
1 plus 7 plus 21.
Plus 21. Oh. What do we have to do? The same thing as what we did just now.
Open bracket 2x. Close bracket plus 21. Open bracket 2x close bracket square plus 35 open bracket 2x close bracket cube plus 35 open bracket 2x.
Plus dot dot dot. So now this is just basic algebra. So we can start doing the calculation. And what do we get?
1 plus 14x plus 84x squared plus 280x cubed.
Last one.
Plus 560 x to the power of 4.
And don't forget plus dot dot dot. The end. That's it. Okay? So this is how you use for Pascal triangle. So easy, understand now? All right. Okay, so right now, right, when it comes to binomial, you need to understand this formula really, really well. So always take note for the formula, right? If let's say this A is 1, okay, a disclaimer, if let's say this A is 1, that means this whole first term will just be 1. You don't need to write all this. It's a shortcut, okay? So what does that mean? Example, 1 plus b to the power n, right? So the formula is, instead of writing this whole thing, you just write 1 plus nc1 a to the bracket of n minus 1 bracket b1 plus n2 a to the power of n minus 2 b to the power 2 plus dot 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 and so on and so forth. It's the same thing. Just that this whole thing right here is 1. Okay, but if let's say the question is not 1, it's like some other numbers, like maybe 2x plus 5x squared. So how do we go about doing it? So there's a disclaimer. Can you see all these NC0, NC1, NC2, right? So there are two ways to write it. It's either you write it as NC0, means n choose 0 in the calculator. Do you know where is it?
It divides.
Yes, it's a divide sign. So you're going to press shift divide. And there's a C appear. So you can put like 2C, 2 choose 1, for example. 2. Yeah, means the value of 2. Okay, so let's go about doing it. On how do we go about doing it? So this n is referring to all this n, 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 n. Okay? And this a is referring to this a here, this a here, this a here, and this a here. Now, this b, you need to be very careful because this b is a scenario where it's plus b. So what happens when it's a minus b? So it means that inside the bracket, you must also put minus b. Inside the bracket, you must put minus b. Inside the bracket, you must put minus b. And inside the bracket here, you need to put minus b. Okay? So this is always the first term. So later we'll go more in depth in it. Huh? So always take note, when it's first term, it's always a 0, 0, 0. And this is called the second term. And when it's the second term, it means that it's 1, 1, 1. And this is the third term. Third term means here is 2, 2, 2. Okay, so far so good. And this person here is the last term. So you can fill this up all into your notes. So the last term means n, means if let's say here is a 7, right? 7, so it'll be 7 choose 7. Then the a value, 7 minus 7. B to the power of 7. So that's what it meant. Then you can color code accordingly to how you see on the screen. So always remember, first term means 0. Second term means 1. It's always 1 lesser.
Okay.
And you always start with a 0, not a 1. Like just now, the Pascal triangle always start with 0.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing you need to take note is when they say no term in x, means do you have any x? Yes or no?
No.
No x, right? So it's just 0x. And 0x means the coefficient of the x term is 0. Okay, so you can write that down also. Okay, so in the worksheet, you can see in example 1, yeah? I'll do example 1A and B with you. Then later, I want you guys to do 2A, 3A, and so on and so forth. So let's go to example 1 of the worksheet. So example 1 of the worksheet, they ask you to expand out 2 plus 7x to the power of 5. Right? And they only want the first what?
4 terms.
First 4 terms. So this is A. Okay, so let's go. So what does the formula say? So this is not a 1, right? So you're going to use the formula. So what does the formula say?
2.
Because it's n choose 0, right? So it's, what's n?
5.
So it will be?
5 plus.
5 what?
Oh, 0. Wait.
Yes, it's 5, 0. Bracket followed by?
2,
Mm-hmm.
close bracket,
Mm-hmm.
5 minus 1,
5 minus 1. Mm-hmm. It's not 5 minus 1.
minus 0,
Followed by?
open bracket, 7x, close bracket, 0.
Okay, next, plus
5, choose 1,
mm-hmm.
close bracket,
Mhm.
open bracket, 2, close bracket, 5 minus 1,
Mm-hmm.
open bracket, 7x, close bracket, 1,
Mm-hmm.
plus, open bracket, 5, choose 2, close
Mm-hmm.
bracket, open bracket, 2, close bracket, 5 minus 2,
Mm-hmm.
open bracket, 7x, close bracket, 2,
Mm-hmm. Do we stop or do we continue?
continue. Open bracket, 5, choose 3, close bracket, open bracket, 2, close bracket, 5 minus 3, open bracket, 7x, to power 3.
Do we stop or do we continue?
Stop.
Because we have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. So when we stop here, we need to put we have to put what? What do you have to put at the end? Yeah. We need a plus or dot. Okay, let's go. Let's start using our calculator and start expanding everything out. What do we have? So right now, you start doing. Then after that, you check with the answers on the screen, whether you get the same answer as me, okay? Okay, so check your answer in mind. Is it correct? Don't forget put plus or dot, huh? So remember to put plus or dot. Okay, so right now, I want you to try B, the expansion of B, and see whether you can get the same answer as me. So B will be 1 minus 2x to the power of 2 to the power of 7. So do not look at my working. So right now, just try your own extension. And after that, check with me. Check on the screen to see whether your answer is the same as mine. Okay, very good. So now move on to the next worksheet. So for worksheet, I want you to do question example number 2, A part 1, part 2, what else? Next, C. B, do not need to. 3 part 1, next. 4 part 1, next. 5 part 1, next. 6 part 1, 7, do not need to do. Is that all? Yeah. Okay. Up to them to start doing. Okay. So question number 2, you got this expansion, right? So can you see 2B? They ask for, can you see this is the goal that I want? This is my focus. So the goal that I want is x squared. Means I focus on only getting x squared. So can you see this person? Highlight in purple. The power of 6 is this whole thing, right? So just copy, paste. So it's equal to 1 plus 18x plus 135x squared plus dot dot dot. Copy, paste. Next. This whole thing, the power of 5 is referring to this whole thing expansion, right? So the same thing, copy, paste. Okay, do that now. Plus dot dot dot. Okay, so how do I go about seeing it now? So can you see that this is my ultimate goal, which is x squared? So you can see it as like this is a girls' team, and this is the boys' team that I want to find a partner. So I always focus on the girls' team. Okay, so can you see the girls' team has 1, 2, 3, right? I don't care about the rest. So if the girls' team here is 1, this 1 partner with who over here to give me my x squared?
31. Oh,
Because my ultimate goal is x squared.
80x squared.
This partner with this. And this partner with this means it's a multiply, right? So 1 multiplied by 80x squared, what does it give me?
80x squared.
Next up. The next person is 18x. So 18x partner with who over here to give me my x squared?
Minus 80x.
Yes. And what do I get?
Minus 1440 x squared.
Then last one. Can you see it's the third one already? So I don't really need to care about the boys team at all. I look at the girls team. So 135x squared partner with who over here to give me my x squared?
32.
And what do I get now?
4 plus 4320 x squared.
So everything up. Don't forget your plus dot.
2960 x squared plus dot.
And what's the question asking for? They only want to focus on the
Coefficient.
coefficient. So therefore, I can say that my coefficient of x squared is
2960.
dn. That's all. Okay, so I hope they have already done to me part 1.
Mhm.
So please check. Do you get the same answer as me? All right. So for 3 part 2, they say that in the expansion of 1 plus x minus x squared to the power of 5. And they want you to expand all the way until the x squared term, right? Which is perfect because here is also k squared. So how do you do that is you must compare. So by comparing this and this, what do you notice?
The power is the same.
By comparing, what can you see? What's the pattern that you notice? By comparing. What do you notice when you compare? What can you see? K is equal to x minus x squared. So by comparing, you know that k is equal to this, right? So this is what we have already expanded. Just literally just put it in, done. So we can say that 1 plus x minus x squared to the power of 5 is equal to
1 plus 5 open bracket x minus x squared close bracket plus 10 open bracket x minus x squared close bracket square plus dot.
Now you need to be very careful when expand this because this is an algebraic identity. It's a a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So be really, really careful. So a lot of students, they always make this mistake. They just take this square and square. They forget their minus 2ab. So do not forget, when you expand this, you get 3 terms. Okay, so you can start doing that now and check. After you do it, then check whether you get the same answer as me. The previous answer will be 1 plus 5 plus 5x squared. Plus dot dot. So that's the answer for 3. Now let's move on to 4. Have you done your 4 part 1 expansion?
Almost.
Okay. All right, let's see. So is your answer 1024 plus 15? So check whether you get the same answer as mine. 3680 x squared plus 14720 x cubed plus dot dot dot. All right, so now same thing, let's compare again. So this is the answer. This is the expansion for 2 plus 3x to the power of 10 equal to all these answers. So right now for part 2, They say that 2.03 to the power of 10. So what do you notice? When you say 2.03 to the power of 10, how would you do 4 part 2? Correct. So we can say that let this be this. Right? Then we can just do algebra because what are all these unknowns here? All these unknowns are in what?
X.
Exactly. So from here, what do I want to find?
X.
Exactly. So find x and tell me what's the value of x. So once you get 0.01, the x value, you can just sub it inside here. Right? So I can just name this as equation 1. I can say that sub x equal to 0.01 into equation 1. And therefore, what can I say about 2.03? So I can say 2.03 to the power of 10, you sub it in, then let me know what's your answer. And do not forget, what does the question want? In how many dp? 4. Okay, so do that now and then see whether you get the same answer as me. All right, so do you get the same answer as me? All right, next up. So 4 is done. We have 5 and 6. So can you write down the answer for your question number 5 and 6? These are the answers for question number 5 and 6. I want you to go home and try to do it on your own and see whether can you get the answer. If you cannot get the answer, next lesson you ask me for help. The next I'm going to teach will be question number 7. So I'll give you some time to write down the answers. Oh, copy correctly. Check for the positive and negative sign. Check for the powers. Okay, so let's go to number 7. Remember just now we were saying what is no term in x? So do you remember? What does no term in x means?
0x.
Exactly, 0x. So right now the question tells you that there is no term in x in the expansion of 1 minus 3x cubed 2 plus bx to the power of 4, right? So what does it mean is that I have to do it separately. And can you see that they only want to find the coefficient of who?
X squared.
So if they want to find the coefficient of x squared, means I need to focus on my x squared term, right? So what does that mean? It means that I need to do 1 minus 3x cubed, expand it out. And expand it out only up to what term? Only up to what? I cannot possibly expand all the time.
Second.
No.
Oh, third.
X squared. So x squared means it's a third term because it's always plus 1 of the power. So you need to expand out the third term to get your x squared. So same thing for your 2 plus bx to the power of 4 is equal to whatever naught. And this whatever naught, you also need to expand up to the third term to get your x squared term. So hence from here, what do we have to do? So it's the same as earlier on what I did. So once I do separately, this is step 1. Step 2. The third step is I take the answer here, copy, paste, right? Copy, paste. Multiply by, I take the answer here, copy, paste, right? And remember this time I told you, whatever term is here, you go and find a partner to match such that you can get your x squared term. Got it? But you need to be very careful because if you notice, right, these are all in the form of b. Can you see there's an unknown here? So there's no way you can get your x squared. That's why there's a clue called no term in x is 0x. So when I expand this, right, I need to focus on two terms because if I focus on x squared only, it'll be in terms of b. So what does that mean? It means over here, right, when I expand, not just focusing on the x squared term, I must also find a partner to get my x term. So the expansion, you need two terms. You need your x term and you need your x squared term. So once you get your x term, can you see I can compare coefficient? Because the coefficient of my x term is 0. Right? Why do I do that? Because when I do this, right, I can actually find my b value. And once I get my b value, I can sub it into my x squared term. Okay? So with that, next lesson, I'll check your question number 7. And then we'll continue the rest. We'll continue question 8 and so on and so forth.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.